Hi. So I'm just let me close the window. I'm just gonna record this video. Probably post it on YouTube. Hopefully it goes well. Not gonna get prettied up or anything. No script. Just talking about like the state of the world, cause I think about that shit all the time, and there's discourse on it, so I figure maybe some people will want to join the discussion. And I also talk to myself in the mirror all the time, like, or just talk to myself about it. Like, I'll be sitting there fucking ranting about politics and fucking all kinds of shit. I ain't gonna get too deep into it. This is the first impression. So today the topic is gonna be Martin Luther King Day. So Martin Luther King Day is gonna be on Monday. It's currently Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday, January 18th. And I'm just kind of thinking about the state of America that we're in right now, with like the racial tension and divides that's happening. Personally, like, I'm from Hawaii, so I don't live in a more stereotypically racist state, and I'm not gonna say a racist state because I don't believe a whole state of people can be racist. There can definitely be, like, you'll be more likely to run into different types of people. Two, I'm not gonna talk about things that I don't have personal experience with. Like, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in it, but I'm not gonna say I'm right. Like, I'm sure if you go to Virginia, probably gonna run into more racist people than like California, but I actually don't agree with that. I would say, like, Virginia, you'll probably run into like white supremacists. California, you're gonna run into a different type of racist, which is kind of what I'm gonna talk about today. I'm not really afraid of being canceled because there's always like a niche on the internet, and people are a little bit less nasty now than they were like during COVID with the whole cancel him shit. But yeah, so Martin Luther King, always something that I thought about. Like, I watched the I Have a Dream speech, watched a whole documentary about it. Like, when we was in elementary school, they taught us about him, and it's always been like inspiring to me how in that time where there was like literal segregation, like, you might have segregation now, but it's not like legally mandated, but at that time, like, you're black, don't touch this water fountain. You're white, that water fountain is dirty, don't touch that water fountain. Like, pretty fucked up, really fucked up, extremely fucked up. And Martin Luther King got on a stage and he told people, I have a dream. And here's a line of that speech I feel like people like don't talk about, but it was always like the line that hit me the most. Like, when I think about the I Have a Dream speech, this is what I think about. He said, I have a dream where little white boys and little black girls can hold hands together and walk down the street. Don't know the next line. I think it's like peacefully or like without judgment or something like that. But even if that wasn't the exact words, that's kind of what it meant to express. And now, like, look where we are. Like, we're in this world where we ended segregation, and now I feel like we're almost going backwards, because instead of like kind of, you can't get rid of racism, but you can definitely like cold shoulder racism instead of fighting fire with fire, which is what we're doing right now. There's a lot of like white people hate that I've seen on the internet. I have seen so many countless debates where people are like, you can't be racist to white people. And let me clarify real quick. I have like 11 ethnicities. I don't know my percentages. I just know I have 11. I'm mostly Asian and like Latino. So like I have a little bit of Italian in me, yes. So I am white, but I'm not like fully fledged white. Just before anybody gets mad, it's like I'm not gonna go into that because I'm probably gonna say something stupid. But yeah, like it's like the difference between somebody who wears like a Black Lives Matter shirt and then somebody wears like a White Lives Matter shirt. Like a white person could wear a Black Lives Matter shirt, nobody got a problem with it. A black person could wear a White Lives Matter shirt, and then like you just see people coming out in the comment section like, you're a fucking traitor, you're this, you're that. And like the thing that gets me is like when people say you can't be racist to white people, because racism by definition is discriminating against another individual because of their race. Personally, there's only one race. Like, people get mad when you say all lives matter, but all lives do matter. Every person has agency. There's people that aren't as smart, and there's people that are like super smart. Where was I going with that? There's dumb people, there's smart people, there's strong people, weak people, fast people, slow people. We have traits, and we have talents, and we have individuality. And everybody matters. You know, the CEO at the top of a company would be nothing without his like 50 underlings that he has. Like, I call them underlings, but each one of those people is people, and they pick up a piece of the pie, like a percentage of what the whole company does. That little guy takes care of. And if that little guy wasn't there, then that percentage would not have gotten done. And now multiply that by like 50. If none of those people were there, the company wouldn't run. The CEO can have the skills to build and coordinate and put people together, but the people doing the groundwork are really running the company, even if they're not being treated as such. That's what's happening. Corporate America real greedy about that, not treating their workers like good nowadays, especially with prices rising and inflation and all that. But that's not the topic of this video. So, you know, I don't know if you can tell, but trying to maintain the train of thought and like keep it smooth without pausing is a little bit hard, so bear with me. Yeah, dude, it's wild. Like, you wear all lives matter shirt, and I haven't ever worn one. I've just seen like videos of people, they wear one, and then the comments are mad. Somebody in the video comes up to them and starts calling them like racist, Nazi, white supremacist, all that types of shit, when it's just a matter of a fact. Every individual has a perspective, and they have differences, but they're important in some type of function. Like homeless people on the street, most people in America, at least, I feel like America is the more arrogant country, but most people would like look at a homeless person on the street and then be like, he's doing drugs, he's this, he's that, and kind of just pay them no mind. Like, me personally, I've seen a homeless person and like walked by them and like not even looked at them, because I don't want to like, I look at them and then they're like, can I have $1 or $2? And you know, my own skepticism, like, are they gonna use the dollar for food, or what are they gonna do? So I usually like get them food if they do ask me for money. But like, that person matters. That person is a valuable lesson. When you see a dude out there and he's fucking screaming at the walls, and his clothes are tattered, he's dirty, that person matters. Because, you know, parents gonna come by with their kid, be like, hey, you follow this certain path of life, you might end up like that. Kid is gonna put that in their subconscious, and it's gonna build towards a bigger lesson that they're gonna learn in their life. And you know, if you help a homeless person and you see how much like one sandwich can matter to somebody, when you can go home and you can go make 20 sandwiches and you'll be good. You can go back to the store, buy the things you need to make 20 more. You're fine. Like, you're struggling, but you can at least have enough money to make a lot of sandwiches if you want to. Or if you can't make a lot of sandwiches, like, you can have a sandwich every day if you want to. But to see somebody else and that's like a big deal to them, that can teach you a lesson. The point that I'm making right now is that from the biggest CEO, smallest, homeless, everybody matters. Humans are humans. We share 99.99% of our genetic makeup, and the racial difference is like how much melanin you got, how big are your eyes, how tall are you. But if you ask people these things, like within your own like ancestry, those are just traits of people. But then you look at other people and, oh, his skin's a little bit darker. That's just a trait. It's not like, oh my gosh, he's black. Like, people make racist jokes and stuff, but there's a difference between like you're joking about it and you mean it. Like, I'm short as fuck. It's a trait that I was born with. People tease me about it. I don't get mad at them for it. Like, if they're leaning on thick, I might get a little mad. So, you know, I haven't experienced like racism in my life. Like, sometimes people calling me a chink or whatever, but the only thing that like really is like visibly Asian about me is my eyes. I think I got a bit of a Confucius mustache, but yeah. Racism is stupid, and the culture that we're living in is like reimagining racism, making racism modern, so that, you know, you can discriminate and you don't need to feel bad about it because those guys are the bad guys now. That's how we treat it. Like, it's as simple as that. Little Timmy over there, he white. His dad is racist. His dad's gonna teach him how to be racist. And do you think he's gonna learn that his dad was wrong by going out into the world and then people are telling him, you're white, you're bad? And, you know, then little Timmy is gonna be like, these guys are coming for me. And he's gonna double down. He's not gonna open up. He's gonna double down. And then he's gonna end up like his dad. If he goes out and his dad is like, black people are bad, you know, little Timmy has a black friend at school. Not even a friend yet, he just meets a kid at school, but he's nice to him. They don't care about they don't talk about the colors of their skin, nothing. He's just gonna be like, little Timmy is a kid, he's innocent. He's gonna be like, this is just a person. We play with blocks at recess, and that's gonna be the only thing that he cares about. But when you're bringing this shit, like all this, what's the word, all this bullshit, I'll just say bullshit, there's a more elegant word that I had, but can't think of it right now, into like the minds of children, and you're expressing it so heavily in culture, especially on the internet, when like any 10-year-old can go and start reading about racism. Like, that's why, different issue, I'll talk about that in a different video. But like, you know, kids are on the internet, kids are seeing these discourses, and they're going to school and starting to worry about race at younger ages, when if we didn't have the internet, probably wouldn't give as much of a fuck. When all there is to watch is like the news, and that's the only report that you get on the rest of the world, you wouldn't realistically care that your neighbor is black, because you don't see everybody arguing about skin color all the time, but now we do. And it's just, it's stupid. Everybody matters. White people, black people, yellow people, brown people, blue people, red people, pink people, purple people. Like, because at the end of the day, cut me with a knife anywhere. Cut my neck, cut my fucking arm, cut my foot.
What? Good, the soup.
Yeah, the soup is okay. Yeah, a minor interruption, but yeah, anywhere on my body, cut me, poke me, stab me, I will bleed red. My blood is red, and it's not any of those other colors that I just said. Any other human being, regardless of their ethnicity, same thing. We all bleed red. We're all people. We all have a conscious mind. We see through the same types of eyes. Like, imagine if people were like racist in your eye shape. Like, that is like racism. Yeah, but imagine if people like really gave a shit about the shape of people's eyes. Like, oh, you're white, your eyes are so huge. Or like, amongst white people, there was like groups of white people that had like fucking slanted eyes and big ass eyes, and they were discriminating against each other. You'd be sitting out there, like, that's some white people shit. Now imagine you're an alien looking down on the fucking planet Earth, and we're arguing about fucking, this guy is Mexican, this guy is black, this guy is this and that. Like, you'd be sitting there like, they're all humans. Like, what are these idiots doing? They're having wars about this shit? Are they retarded? Like, even the slavery thing, African people sold African people into slavery. Slavery has existed for all of human history. There are slaves today, not in America, but in other countries. There are people that are enslaved, probably in America, but that's like hidden society, secretive type shit, right? That's not this video for the 5th time. Different video for that. It's just wild. So that's my thoughts on modern America, racism. Martin Luther King had a dream, and this is a nightmare. Peace out.